War is one of those realities that we cannot escape. Throughout our history, it has been the nightmare that comes true too often for too many of us. Despite the destruction it brings with it, war has been a critical component in shaping up our society, history, and cultures. Whichever dimensions we go to, we can be sure to find conflict and destruction. So today, we are taking a look at the battle spaces our soldiers might find themselves fighting for their nations and above all, their dear lives. Land. It is the oldest battle space but still the most primary one. The conquest for land is almost as old as the humans themselves. We have fought on land with whatever weapons we could get our hands on, from sticks and stones all the way through sword and arrow, to most recently automatic rifles and of course the nuclear bombs that have brought us closer to midnight on the doomsday clock more than it should have. From the thickest forests, the vastest deserts, the coldest glaciers to the densest cities, land has provided many a battlefields, each presenting its own challenge but the same terror for everyone involved. The roar of tanks, the meteoric descent of artillery barrages, and the rain of rockets are just few of the terrifying sounds of war on land. Not to mention the war cries that constantly try to cover up the actual cries of those injured and even those meeting their unfortunate end. It is the battle space that claims the most amount of lives and an unbelievable amount of destruction. Water. Naval warfare is the second oldest battle space humans have ventured into. This dimension is fought on for the control of supply and transport routes as well as force projection. Naval warfare can occur anywhere from the brown waters of rivers, lakes, and canals to the green waters of littoral and coastal areas of the sea, all the way to the blue waters that encompass the deepest and darkest parts of our ocean. Frigates, cruisers, destroyers, corvettes, and aircraft carriers battle it out on the surface, while submersible or underwater warfare is also as intense and taxing as the surface level one. Air. While ground and aquatic warfare might be the main events of a conflict, the objectives of these wars are almost always impossible to achieve without gaining control of the skies above them. So in this battle space, militaries will use aircraft to either attack or survey the enemy to come up with a plan of action. And when the enemy starts using the same type of technology against you, you're going to need more fast and agile fighter planes to down the enemy aircraft in order to deny them any kind of advantage in the battlefield. Among many more advantages and mission objectives of aerial warfare, one major mission objective of an air force is to provide transport and logistics to the other arms of the military. Space. This is quite a new frontier when it comes to the history of warfare, and as of yet there has been no brutal conflict here so far. But it's not for the lack of trying. The space race between the USA and the USSR was itself a major war between the two countries during the Cold War, and the launch of the Star Wars program was the start of the militarification of space. Space warfare has been in our literature and fiction for centuries now, but recently, a few countries have officially raised their dedicated space forces. Because of the potential of the satellites that are already orbiting the Earth in terms of intelligence and communication, among other things, the question of space warfare is fast becoming not the one of ifs, but that of when. Cyber. The cyber front is another new battlefield that has opened up to humanity during the last 3 decades. This battle space usually revolves around intelligence, communication, and information warfare, keeping it far less lethal than the other battle spaces. But the recent pager-related incidents during the Israel and Palestine conflict has changed the perception of lethality of the cyberspace. Hearts and minds. In addition to land, sea, air, space, and cyber warfare, war is also fought on hearts and minds. Use of propaganda and misinformation is an intangible but a salient part of modern warfare, proving itself time and again a very effective way to bring one's enemy to their knees without even confronting them physically. In this battle space, intelligence agencies are the main forces at play, making covert ops, lies, and deceptions the weapons of choice. The use of people holding influence over a large populace to introduce, inject, or export ideologies that could disrupt the level of threat that the enemy poses is a common occurrence in this battle space. Use of politicians and social media, rewriting of history, manipulating facts are the most common weapons used in a battle for hearts and minds, so much so that it becomes impossible to differentiate between facts and fiction. The use of diplomacy and international influence is generally not directed towards general public. Rather, it is mostly used to persuade or dissuade the people in positions of power. But as it is a battle of wits and nerves, it is also a part of the minds and hearts battle space. Readiness for war by maintaining the military and keeping the arsenal of most modern and destructive weapons act as a very effective deterrent against any kind of aggression by the enemy. Of all these battle spaces, land has and will probably always be the primary battlefield. The control of every other battlefield ensures the ultimate control of land. These are the major battle spaces humans fight in. What new frontiers will open up in the future, only time will tell. If you have any clue regarding the future battlefields, do let us know your predictions down in the comments section. And report to Sergeant Subscribe and Captain Like.